How are you?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. This is my first Zoom interview, so I got a couple questions lined up, some long ones for you here, but I
Okay.
figured might as well break it down and give you kind of answer everything and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go off right here on starting question one. So last season the ECHL season was canceled midway through the year because of the COVID pandemic. What was that like for y'all as a team, especially since the team was poised to have such a deep playoff run?
Yeah. I mean, it kind of came up quickly on us that we found out the news that it was getting postponed and then canceled. And you could just tell the way we were playing the season we had that we knew like we had a good chance and we were going to go on a long run. And just everyone just had that feeling like, I don't know, something was taken from us and we weren't going to get that chance. Um, and it was nothing you could be mad at because that it's a pandemic. You
Yeah,
can't be
nothing
mad
can
at
stop
anyone.
there.
Yeah, so everyone was disappointed we weren't given the opportunity to finish that season.
Yeah, well, that in some ways got to motivate y'all though to pick off where you left off last year, just pick back up on it.
I think yeah, if you look at our roster for this upcoming season, we have a lot of guys that are coming back, and I think that was the main reason that guys want to come back. They
Yeah.
want to finish what we started last year.
Exactly. So going off the signs and all that, I imagine being captain, you've kept up a lot, pretty much with all the team signings, and you brought back a lot of guys like Dan DeSalvo's come back, Max Novak's back, Mark Cooper, and there's a lot of new guys, a lot of new rookies come to this team. What do you think of the signing so far? It's been a lot of rookies and a little bit of veterans come back. What do you think of the look of the team so far?
I think it's a really good mix. You got our main core guys that were here last year, guys that we relied on in every situation. And then we've added guys that were key pieces for other teams they've played on. And they should be able to step right in here and um, provide us with whatever we need on any given night. It's like a well-rounded roster. It's not a lot of different personalities. It looks like everyone's kind of on the same page, and it's exciting to see it on paper right now. And then when everyone gets here, it'll be really exciting.
Yeah. So going off those recent signings, I know that you probably have been in contact with this one player on the team, but former teammate of yours, good friend Justin Floric, was signed about a month, maybe a month and a half ago, so by the team. How does it feel to be reunited with a former teammate?
It's good. It's kind of going back to the guys that we've added, in addition to the guys we have returning. He's one of those guys that he'll fit right in right away. He'll provide offense, defense, everything we need. And I know that just from playing with him. But it's nice to have a guy come in here like that. He's this is his ninth year pro. He knows what to do.
Yeah.
It just makes everyone's job easier when guys come in here and they don't need to learn anything really. They catch on quick, and then they help everyone else, and it's kind of contagious. It's a good atmosphere to have here.
No, and it's definitely nice. He knows a lot of the guys on the team, especially like you. It helps him feel more at home coming to a new team.
Yeah, no, we get along great at the rink, away from the rink. We're always getting out, and whether it's golfing or fishing, just anything like we get along really good. So I think yeah, he's gonna enjoy his time here.
Yeah. Well, I imagine that a lot of fans are going to be hoping that they put you and him together on a line, hoping to see some chemistry out of the two of y'all this season. So hopefully they pair y'all on the line.
Yeah, for sure. We've had chemistry in the past, but also I mean when you look at our roster, I mean I look at it and
Yeah.
there's 20 different line combinations you can come up with, and every one of them is a good combo. And
Yeah.
there's
And
it's
and y'all have such
great.
the benefit of the doubt having, like I mentioned earlier, bringing that team back. Y'all have all that experience together. So I mean, you have some of those new guys who are gonna be looking up to y'all as the veterans, but overall, y'all have such great line chemistry that it's not gonna be hard for y'all to intermingle and add maybe a new piece onto that line because y'all already work so well together.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be easy to move guys up and down the lineup and mix players in here and there. And also with how deep our lineup is, it also pushes everyone to be better and push each other. It's kind of like a little bit of a competitive thing within that just helps make teams better.
Yeah, no, I agree. So let's transition to the upcoming season, which a lot of people are honestly concerned about looking at. So, as you know, the ECHL has announced that 13 teams, South Carolina obviously being one of them, will start the season December 11th, and the other half will start January 15th. So, after having last season cut short and with a pandemic going on, how different will this season feel to others? Like, how it feel to y'all with this not being a traditional season?
Yeah, I mean, there's a kind of a different vibe to it, but guys have. It's been what 6 months or whatever since we got canceled, and guys want to get back and play. As long as we can do it safely and with like the certain precautions in place, I know everyone wants to get back to playing. So that the season definitely has a different vibe to it, but you kind of just have to approach it with an open mind and just follow the precautions, do what you have to do to stay safe, and kind of just roll with whatever we're dealt and just kind of take it one day at a time.
Yeah, and now going off that, how do you and your teammates kind of stay motivated and shape? Because it takes a toll when rinks and gyms were closed a few months ago. You really couldn't go out anywhere. You could work out at home, but if you didn't live out where you had like a frozen lake, you really couldn't get out and go on skates. How do y'all like keep motivated and keep yourself like in shape and ready for a season, not knowing at the time when it was going to happen?
Yeah, and with guys living all over the country and in Canada, everywhere, every state, province has different rules in place, whether you could go to the gym or if you couldn't. So it's been tough to try and find find a place to go to stay in shape. I know that like the gyms have reopened here, and it's nice to be able to get get training again. But you kind of had to get creative and work out from home and go outside and do some workouts. And approaching our season, some hockey rinks haven't opened yet in certain places, so it's one of those things where when everyone gets here, they're just gonna have to. Everyone's gonna have an open mind. We gotta be smart about what we do. Some guys might not have skated for a couple weeks,
I'm one of
and
those people.
you can't
It's
just
been a while.
you can't just throw guys right into the fire.
Yeah, no.
That's when you have injuries, and so we'll just have to be smart about it, and kind of when everyone gets here, kind of evaluate how everyone's doing, what everyone looks like, and I mean Ryan Blair, our coach, he's a smart guy. He's gonna see how hard he can push us right away, and yeah, he's gonna do it the smart way and get us ready.
Yeah. Well, now going back to the COVID thing, so I imagine you also watched the NHL playoffs in the bubble and all that, and you saw how they did the COVID protocols of the testing every day regularly, and they were getting results back, and the other leagues have been doing it. But as you know, the ECHL is obviously not the NHL, and it's not the NFL, and it's not the MLB. It's lower down there. So how do you think they're going to handle COVID protocols? Do you think they're going to try and do testing every day? If not, at least like every week, try to get everybody tested. Just because the only thing we're worried about, honestly, especially with, like I was telling Jarrett, with Florida, with them having 3 teams down there, I feel like if one of them on their team gets it, and the whole team gets, it could shut the league down.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know what the plan is for testing. I know there will be testing, and yeah, whatever. I know the league and the teams and everyone involved is they've probably talked about it over and over, and they're still coming up with the right way to do it. And I kind of just have to trust that whatever they come up with is going to be safe for us. And I mean, everyone has our health in mind.
Yeah.
The players wouldn't come back if they didn't feel safe. But as far as testing, I don't know how often it'll be. I'm sure it'll be quite frequently. Maybe before you can even travel on a road trip, you'll probably have to test before you can head somewhere else. But as far as that, I don't have the details.
Yeah. So now, still going on the protocol thing, as you know, Norfolk just recently opted out of the season. Atlanta has opted out of the season. Considering those are both regularly scheduled opponents for y'all, like, how much traveling do you think is going to happen? How regularly do you think you're going to play your opponents more if they don't let you travel as much? Like, how do you think the schedule is going to look, especially because we don't know how much they're going to let teams travel out to go play?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's unfortunate we lost those two teams because they were both teams that we played quite a bit. It was shorter road trips, and yeah, with them gone, I'm guessing we're going to play in division teams even more.
Well, yeah, and I'm
But
from Greenville, so I've watched the Swamp Rats and Stingers play a lot. So I couldn't imagine because they sometimes play each other. You guys sometimes play each other 12 times a year. So I mean, just the thought of that could be bumped up to more. People just after time looking at it's like it's always the same team. Like you want someone new to play, come in, or you want to go and travel out, so you can watch. But I mean, also at the same time with the whole code thing, I mean, you guys can't control. I mean, who you're going out and playing. It's really how the league
yeah,
set up.
exactly. I remember one year I think we played Greenville 16 times, and um, it's tough just because
I mean, that
it's
creates for a good rivalry, though. I mean, you play the same guy 16 times. I mean, there's definitely a rivalry brewing there. I mean, 16 times, you have 16 times to really beat the crap out of your opponent if you want to.
exactly, yeah. But if the games are spread out where it's not the same team
Yeah. It's
three,
like
four
three
games
nights
in
in
a
a row.
row,
Yeah.
and you kind of travel around and maybe play them again, like that way, it's a little more spread out, and but I guess yeah, with the way things are going, we're just gonna have to roll with whatever's thrown at us and kind of just go from there.
Yeah. I want to jump back real fast when I was talking earlier about the everything being closed and season started different time of pandemic. I know that the Stingrays just announced recently they're going to allow 2,700 into North Charleston Ice or Charleston Coliseum this year into the rink, but there's probably going to be some teams where they're maybe not allow anybody at all, or they might allow 50%, but they might not fill out 50%. So I mean, what's it going to be like for y'all if you have to go into a situation where I mean, it's got to be weird if you go into a situation there's no fans and playing in front of nobody.
Yeah, I mean, this being my ninth year, I've played in front of 10 or over 10,000 fans. I've also played in front of a couple hundred fans. It's a big difference between the two, but um, being a professional athlete, you kind of have to both
Tune it
those
out.
games. Yeah, both those games are worth 2 points. You got to find a way to just get ready for it, and
About to say you got to motivate yourself in different ways. I mean, the crowd might be taken out of it. I mean, you got to still find a way to motivate your team and play still.
exactly, yeah. I mean, if the crowds aren't there, guys have to bring that energy themselves, and I mean, it'll be different. Guys will have to get used to it. Everything might not go the way you want right away, but we just kind of have to figure it out as we go and roll with it.
Yeah. So final couple questions here. First off, talking about all we talked about the team with the signings with the pandemic. What are your thoughts about the team's chances for the upcoming season? Knowing that you have almost the same roster with a couple new faces added in, what do you think of the team's chances?
I mean, when I look at our roster, I'm really excited. Every season, I go into every season thinking we have a really good chance. And I mean, you just have to put the work in. And I know with the roster we have, if everything goes according to plan and we work hard, I think we'll give ourselves every chance to have that success that we want. And um, but also every other team is probably thinking the same, especially losing a couple teams. Some guys have been spread out around the league, and some other teams have think think they might have stocked up on guys. So it's just one of those things where, as good as we think we are, we still have to prove it
Yeah.
and put the work in.
Yeah. One more thing about the team, though. Y'all pretty much have the whole team set in place. I've been covering them. Y'all pretty much have the whole roster built together, but y'all are still, as far as I know, haven't signed a goal yet. I know that y'all just recently lost Parker Milner last year. He retired at the end of the season. Just real quick, what did he mean to the team, and how hard do you think it'll be to replace him? Because I know he was such a pivotal role the last few years.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you kind of took for granted going into every year. You weren't questioning the goalie situation. You knew Parker was going to be the guy. But I mean, it was last year was good when Thompson stepped in and played. His numbers were incredible as well. So um, whoever we get in here, I imagine we're going to get some good goalies, and you just have to have some confidence in him, and that was a big thing with Milner is when we played in front of him, we had confidence in him, so it changes the way the team can play. And
Exactly. A goalie that has good confidence in themselves helps the team out immensely.
exactly. So we're gonna miss that part of it where we knew Milner was gonna make those saves when we needed him to, but whoever we get in here, it's gonna be the same thing. Just trust in your goalie and play well in front of him.
Exactly. And one final question, more of a personal kind of thing. So, as you know, you said you're 9 years professionally, 9 years professionally, and we know that you've been in the Low Country since 2011, 2012. You've been here, so you're very much a staple in South Carolina, especially in Charleston. What has kept you with the Stingrays for almost the entirety of your professional career?
Uh, I I'd say just right from day one when I left university to come down here, just the way I was treated right away, the way I saw that things were ran here, um, that had a really good impression on me right away. And then I was able to start my career here and then move up to the AHL. And then any opportunity that I had to come back, I always wanted to come back here. And I feel like it's a great organization. I've been treated really well. So I think, I don't know if it's a loyalty thing or I like it here, and it's kind of a two-way street. I love playing here and they treat me well. So why would I want to switch it up? I,
Exactly. And you're very much loved in Charleston. I just actually had finished an article prior to our interview about the three most notable alumni, in my opinion, from Stingrays history. And I actually put you in there. I think you actually have been one of probably the most beneficial people to the hockey team in the last 8, 9 years you've been here. So you definitely have a lasting impact on the city long after you're done playing. Like, you're still gonna have an impact down in Charleston and all that.
thank you. I appreciate hearing that. And that's another big reason is the fans here. They've been great to me every year. And it's easy going into a game when you know that the fans have your back and they're excited to cheer for you, and that makes it a lot of fun.
Exactly. Now, speaking of Charleston, since you've been here for the entire your career, and I just learned from Jarrett, you actually live in West Ashley. I live in West Ashley as well. What is your favorite thing about Charleston? Like, what's your favorite thing to do around here? Do you have like any local places you like to go that are like your favorites?
Uh, I like to kind of try everything. I do get out and golf quite a bit. I don't have a favorite course. I like to play them all and see what different areas are like.
Like Kiowa?
Yeah, I love playing at Kiowa. The courses out there, they're immaculate. It's fun, but also I'm right down the road from Shadow Moss. It's close. It's convenient. I enjoy playing there. I like to get out and fish, try and look up new fishing spots. As far as the food, I don't have a favorite. I like trying all the barbecue in the area. Um, there's just Charleston has a lot to offer, and
Definitely.
even 8, 9 years later, I still haven't discovered everything. There's always new things to go look at, and that's what's fun about living here.
Yeah. Do you plan now to stay here after your career's over? Do you plan just to live here probably for the rest of your life? Could you see yourself staying here?
I could see it. I could see my wife and I living here. It's such a nice place. It's an easy place to live. You got nice weather. But I mean, it's one of
Sometimes
those things
nice
where
weather.
I'm just kind of taking every year, one year at a time. Just want to have some success on the ice and go from
Exactly.
there.
Exactly. Well, I think that's all the questions I have for you. But I mean, if you ever need a hockey partner at the Carolina Ice Palace, I need to get back to the rink. It's been 6 months. I need to go out in the rink, and I think training with a professional hockey player would probably be a good for me. So if you ever need a hockey partner, I got you. I'll go out there and play with you. Other than that, hopefully I'll be able to interview you a couple more times this season, all that, and the season goes off as planned. And hopefully at the end of the season, we're Kelly Cup champions.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
No problem. I appreciate it though, man. You have a good day.
Thank you, man. You too.
See ya.